Finishing up our look into Unity scripting and basically the power underneath the hood, we will look now at private versus public variables. Now this sounds very complicated, but it's in fact really easy. When I open up my respawn script, as you can see, I can add variables to the top of the script, or basically outside of a function, and call them, for example, myvar equals 1. Now if I would add another variable inside of the update function and type, for example, var my function var equals 1, and I save this and go back into Unity, click on the player which have this script attached to it, you can see down here that myvar is added as a tweakable variable in the editor. So basically when I change this variable to, for example, 2, I open up back my script, it does not change what I've set in scripting, but however when my game runs it is set to 2 instead. This allows you for very fast tweaking of the variables in your script, and this is what makes Unity such a productive tool, because one of the things you do most in designing game is tweaking your variables. But notice also that the variable that I have defined inside of the function does not show up in the editor, because it's inside of a function and it will stay inside of that function. Let me get rid of this variable here. Now also sometimes you want variables to be accessible in your script outside of functions, so you define them here, but you do not want them to show up in the editor. So what you do to do this is type private my second var equals 1, save the script, go back into Unity, and as you can see it does not show the second variable because you've set it to private. So by default a variable is public and you can tweak it inside of the editor, but sometimes you can add a private var. I've added a little error here, you have to type var as well. Let's go back, and as you can see I had a little error here which is now fixed. Okay, now last but not least there's also a possibility to add static vars. Static var my static var equals true, for example. And static vars are accessible outside of your script by other scripts. So this allows multiple scripts to talk with each other. This is extremely powerful to, example, send commands from one script to another or from one character to another. It's very interesting stuff. So let's get into making more of our game, and next let's look into what exactly 3D is and how it works and how we can manipulate things.